So I think in the current situation, what we have just put together, I think is really some top-line guidance. So the gender assessment tool is one of them. So really guide your actions, give you some recommendations, what you could do as well in the response, but also in the next phase, or in depending in what country you are in the current recovery phase. We have also put together a set of very practical action briefs, particularly for SMEs, companies that are working with a large migrant worker population, for example, on how could you bring a gender lens to this, and also bigger companies with very international supply chains. So these are just a couple of practical tools that you can find after that webinar, and we will share the links for that.
So what can your company do practically now to begin addressing these? And so the first step really needs to start with understanding the current situation and the response that you are putting into place. So with UN Women, we've developed a kind of rapid self-assessment tool to help companies do this. Thank you. So this has two formats. Yep. This has two formats: a simplified questionnaire in a PDF, and then also an Excel-based tool that I'm going to provide a little bit more information on. And this was released last week and is available online publicly for you to access. It's really easy to use. It covers the entire value chain. And then I'll show you in a minute, it provides a possibility to actually create an action plan, a gender responsive action plan going forward. So you just go to the next slide. Here we have a screenshot of what the assessment form looks like. And this should be filled out by someone on the company's internal COVID-19 task force or the human resources department. But you are, because it does cover the entire value chain, you are going to need input from your procurement, your supply chain, and possibly sustainability colleagues as well. And it should be something that can be done in partnership with senior leadership to make sure that you have their buy-in also. So here's a screenshot. You can see that the questions are divided into the areas of the value chain. So here we can see leadership and workplace, but it also covers marketplace, community, and sex disaggregated data. And under each of these areas, there's a series of questions that you will respond to that are also divided between beginner and achiever level. So the beginner is sort of what we believe all companies should be doing, and then an achiever is sort of, okay, once you've achieved those beginner level questions, how can you actually take that even further to the next step, often thinking about looking outside into the wider community actions, but also using your voice as an advocate for women's rights during this time. If you go to the next slide. So it will also then tally your results. So you'll be able to see how many actions you've taken in each of these different areas, divided again by the beginner and achiever level, and then the number of actions that you've not yet considered. And then finally, as I said, one pretty cool thing about this Excel-based tool is that it gives you the opportunity to develop a personalized action plan. So as you go through and answer your questions, it's actually going to populate an action plan for you based on where you've answered yes or no. And so for each of these questions, there's an associated immediate response action that you can be taking that will be filled in here under the action column, and then also long-term actions based on your answers around your actions to date. It's also going to prioritize these actions into low, medium, and high, so you can really have a clear path forward on, okay, this is a high priority short-term action that you need to be taking now. So, just to mention one other thing, this is a rapid assessment that can be used during the COVID crisis. There's also the WEP's Gender Gap Analysis tool that is also publicly available online that provides a much broader view of a company's efforts to promote women's empowerment. And so looking forward as business resumes, comes back up to normal or pre-COVID levels, or you do have more capacity to be thinking about how you can address these issues, we do highly recommend that you think about taking the WEP's Gender Gap Analysis tool to understand not just in terms of your response to COVID-19, but really a holistic understanding of how you're promoting women's empowerment aligned to the women's empowerment principles.